Travis Kelce's shocked reaction to his brother Jason Kelce's new look on the New Heights podcast. On Monday, February 24, the Kelce brothers released a new episode of the podcast. An excerpt of the Kelce brothers' conversation was released ahead of the full episode's release on Wednesday. Travis Kelce started the conversation off with a very amused look for his brother Jason Kelce. Travis said, "Hey Jason, you look a lot like Keanu Reeves' character John Wick." Jason said, "Oh thanks, but I don't want to be an action actor." Travis laughed and said, "Well, that's a role, right? I guess that hair definitely makes you uncomfortable." Jason laughed and said, "Well, you know, I don't look like a boring role at all. But it's definitely a highlight that our audience enjoys, I think." Travis said, "Yes, but we did a great job with that scene and it was exactly as written. It's called a short film for the first time ever on our show." Jason said, "Oh, I'm embarrassed. I never thought I'd be an actor, but change has always been interesting to me." Travis said, "Oh, since the Super Bowl, we need to change a little bit to make something different with something more special." Jason said, "If it works, I'll dance to celebrate instead of looking sad like that." Then both Kelce brothers laughed happily. The atmosphere became extremely funny and full of familiar teasing. But this time, Jason Kelce did not miss the opportunity to interview his younger brother Travis about his recent romantic vacation with Taylor Swift. Opening the conversation, Jason laughed and asked, "Hey Travis, did you just have a very peaceful vacation?" Travis couldn't hide his smug smile and replied in an excited voice, "Oh, yeah, you know, just a little vacation. But, I have to admit, it was absolutely amazing. Blue sea, golden sunshine, and the atmosphere couldn't be more perfect." Jason immediately went straight to the point, "Oh. And Taylor, she definitely liked it." Travis laughed out loud, nodding in acknowledgement. "No denying it, honey. We had some really great moments. It's just that sometimes it's hard to believe that I could relax like that, especially with her, someone who makes everything so much easier and more comfortable." Jason said, "That sounds like a fairy tale. Surely there must be Taylor's music playing in the background all the time." Travis says, "Oh my gosh, don't make me say it. But, I won't deny it, You Belong With Me sounds so beachy." We decided to take an adventure to a deserted island. We rented a small boat. When we landed, it was like we were in paradise. White sand, crystal clear water, and not a soul around. We swam, snorkeled, and watched the coral. Jason, with a pensive look on his face, pictured Taylor Swift on her board and asked Travis, "Hey Travis, you really enjoyed your board? Does Taylor like surfing?" Travis chuckled. "Of course. And there was this moment I'll never forget. We were sitting on the beach at sunset, Taylor singing a soft song, just a guitar. There was no stage, no lights, just the sound of the waves and her voice. It was really special." Jason was silent for a moment, then nodded. "That sounds like the trip of a lifetime." "Oh, it really is," Travis said. "It makes me realize that sometimes, the simple moments are the most precious." Jason broke the silence with a familiar joke, "Just don't get so sunburned that you have to stop playing soccer." Then the two Kelce brothers burst into laughter. After a short, one-week break, Travis and Jason Kelce will be back on Wednesday with a new episode of their popular New Heights podcast. And they won't be alone. On their social media page, New Heights announced that it will be a guest episode. In the episode that directly followed the Kansas City Chiefs' Super Bowl loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, Travis Kelce opened up about a big decision he will have to make this offseason. The Chiefs' tight end has until March 14 to make his retirement decision. Kelce is due a $11.5 million roster bonus on March 15, per over the cap. And with that, the NFL's free agency period begins March 10, but the week after he spoke about all this, the brothers took a break. However, many are wondering if Kelce will address all the speculation in this new episode. And fans were very excited to get a new episode this week. Some were even guessing who the guest will be. "It's Benjamin Wright," one user wrote and included a photo of Taylor Swift's cat. "YESSS, the drought is over," another user wrote. The episode will drop on Wednesday, February 26th. Travis Kelce is currently trying to figure out whether or not he wants to retire from the Kansas City Chiefs. Decisions, and apparently he has until March 14th to decide. But if he does continue on as the team's tight end, he'll get a truly massive roster bonus, which is due to be paid out on March 15th, the amount Travis could be leaving on the table if he retires? A reported $11.5 million. While Travis hasn't made any formal announcements. His brother Jason Kelce thinks he's already made a decision. I think he probably, in his heart, already knows what he wants to do, Jason said on the Steam Room podcast. We're very similar people, but we also have different ways of thinking about things. Sometimes I can overanalyze situations, and any big decision I'm having in my life I'll think about the negatives and what about this or that. My brother has this way of being like, hey man, you want to play or you don't want to play. Meanwhile, Travis addressed retirement on his podcast New Heights, saying I know everybody wants to know whether or not I'm playing next year, and right now, I'm just kicking everything down the road. I'm not making any crazy decisions. I'm gonna take some time to figure it out. And, I think I owe it to my teammates that if I do come back, it's a wholehearted decision. I'm not half-assing it, and I'm fully here for them. The Kansas City Chiefs will be fascinating to watch over the coming weeks for a host of reasons, but perhaps none is bigger than what tight end Travis Kelce will decide regarding his future. With the 35-year-old coming to the end of his illustrious career, the Chiefs have given him a March 14th deadline to decide if he wants to play in 2025. Having already accomplished everything he can in the sport, coupled with his thriving life off the field with the New Heights podcast and his relationship with Taylor Swift, many think Kelce will walk off into the sunset, but we haven't heard much about Travis' future, until now. His brother and former Philadelphia Eagles center, Jason Kelce, was speaking on the Steam Room podcast and stated that Travis likely already knows what 2025 holds for him. We've already talked about it a little bit, and I'm sure he's going to go through a process of figuring that out, Jason said. We're very similar people, but we also have different ways of thinking about things. Sometimes I can way overanalyze situations, and my brother has this way of being like, hey man, you want to play or you don't want to play. I think he probably, in his heart, already knows what he wants to do. That's the reality of it. With the Chiefs' deadline still weeks away, Kelce won't be in a rush to make the biggest decision of his life, and yes, while there are notable advantages of retiring, given his life off the field is in good order, there is another thread to pull here. Will he want the Super Bowl loss to the Eagles to be the way his glittering NFL career ends? For some, they think Kelce won't go out like that, and there's merit to that thought, but can Kelce, at the ripe old age of 35, go through another training camp, all the practices, film study, and playing 17 games plus potential playoffs one more time? It was reported earlier this week that Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce is leaning more toward playing in 2025 after he previously hinted he could retire to go all in on his off-the-field business endeavors. For a piece published Friday, NFL analyst Aaron Schatz of ESPN argued that the Chiefs should take matters out of Kelce's hands by releasing the future Hall of Famer this offseason. Cutting Kelce would cost the Chiefs only $2.5 million in dead money while saving them over $17 million on the salary cap, Schatz explained. That's important with the Chiefs currently having negative effective cap space, i.e. the cap space that they would have after signing at least 51 players and a projected rookie class. And while Kelce still had some important catches in the postseason, his regular season performance collapsed in 2024. Kelce ranked 38th out of 49 qualifying tight ends in receiving, defense-adjusted value over average. And he ranked dead last among tight ends in the ESPN receiver tracking metrics, some within the